What's up, guys? Hey, it's time for Rivalry Day once again as we take on Utah State. Again, it's not quite the same as taking on the University of Utah, who we haven't played yet so far this season, but Utah State will stand as they'll be a good stand-in for the time being as we are at home again, and it looks like we have another full crowd, and we'll see how long this lasts. The feeling that I have is that we're probably going to win this game pretty easily and quickly. Utah State are in 10th place, and they are not looking very good right now. But we'll see what happens. That's the reason why we play the games, and it is going to be Utah State here with the ball kicking it off, and let's see how quickly we can get it off them. Well, apparently not that fast. They lump it forward, though, once again, and it hits off of Cook's head, goes the other way, and he's able to recover, but unfortunately there is an interception. Silva's back to Cook now. Cook over to Bowden. Bowden down to Sun Hyun Tech, who lobs one forward to Aldana, and he's going to he doesn't score. That was a really good play by the Utah State defender, who was able to go back and get in front of that one. Aldana had the goalkeeper rounded here. I mean, just look at this. Goalkeeper's way out of position. And Aldana just sort of lumps that one forward, and instead it's Marquez who's able to knock that one out, and that's the way that this one starts. So a pretty good start from us here in the early going, but we were unable to get a goal out of that, and we will wait and see what happens here in this match. And on paper, we should be able to dominate, but you know how this is. This is Football Manager, and we're playing a rivalry match, and so anything can happen. Bowden down to Williams, over to Silvis, over to Sun Hyun Tech, over to Grant Martin. And that is intercepted again, and it will be back to Alpha Do. So once again, we see that the computer tactics don't really get beyond lump the ball forward and hope you can get it to a guy. Of course, we do the exact same thing, and here's Aldana again, and this time it's again Marquez who's able to prevent that one from being a goal. And Aldana was just wide open and all alone here, but he took a really kind of odd angle, trying to get that goalkeeper to run to the wrong side, and it doesn't happen this time. It's actually played fairly well by both the defender and the goaltender, and they force Aldana into an impossible angle. And Cesar really needs to be able to pass, and that's part of his problem, right? He just wants to take every shot himself, and that's kind of the way that I believe this tactic is set up. Again, this isn't my tactic. This is one of these Knapp tactics that are supposedly overpowered. This one hasn't been all that overpowered, but sometimes it is. Aldana's offside here. And Moggs this time is able to keep that one out, and there is no offside call. Aldana was offside. I'm surprised that this wasn't just immediately whistled back. I mean, it's clear right there that he's offside. He's offside by about a foot, if not more. And Moggs gets back, and he goes off to the line, and he literally holds this ball off right in front. Look at this. Is right in front of the line. Right in front of it, he's able to get to it and able to knock it off, and is able to make it happen. Or is able to prevent the goal from happening, that is. And Daly with this now. Darrell brings this up to the right side looking for a cross and ends up having to pass it back to Cook. Cook with it now. Cook over to Doe. It's Alpha Doe with it, and he goes over to Williams. Williams with it now. And the ball is passed back to Korn, back to Cook now. We will set it up again. Cook with it over to Alpha Doe. Alpha Doe over to Silvis. Silvis to Aldana, to Daly. This looks a little bit more like it. And Daly passes that forward for Aldana. And boy, he has a big shot on goal that is saved. And they're going to call that offside. So Aldana went a little bit too early here is what they're claiming. They're claiming that this was offside. We'll take a look at it right there. Oh, yeah, maybe by like an inch or two, right? I mean, that's really close, which is funny because the highlight before then, I swear he was off by a foot or two, and there was no call. So, I mean, you go figure. You didn't even have a replay of that one. This free kick is knocked behind for a corner. And we continue to pile the pressure on 20 minutes into the match, and let's see if we can get something going here. And there's another header, and I think that was Doe. I didn't get a good look at who that was, or maybe it was Cook that ends up going behind. And we have another corner here, and let's see who we're going to find with this. It's going to be knocked on forward, looking for Cook again. Cook corrals it, passes it over to Williams, and it ends up being out for a throw. And we will see this throw from an awkward angle over to Bowden. Bowden back to Alpha Doe. Alpha Doe with an over to Sun Hyun Tech to Bowden. Bowden has a shot that just knocks off of the top bar, and Silvis ends up with overcooked to Sun Hyun Tech. Over to Martin. Martin back to Sun Hyun Tech, and we're kind of working backwards now, trying to get that defense opened up. Cook, and then that's the end of that highlight. And so there you have it. Aldana having a pretty poor match, a 6.3 rating. We'll keep him in there, though, because the way that it works with him is that he looks bad until he scores his first goal. Daly with it, back to Cook to Silvis, back to Daly. Daly now forward to Bowden, and Bowden finds Aldana, and that's not really a very good angle for him. And, I mean, it was a good idea and a good thought, but the defender had him played very, very tightly, and there just wasn't enough room for him to maneuver. So it's actually a pretty good pass, but with the two defenders converging on that ball, there was simply no way that Aldana was going to get enough space to make anything happen. I know that his match rating is decreasing, but I can't really blame him for that, right? I mean, it's not like there's some magical thing he could do. Here's Aldana this time, and the first touch is poor. That's a little bit more like his mistake. With the first touch like that, you should be able to bring it down. The other one, though, I mean, the defenders are just in the right place. Evan Bowden with it now, and he passes that forward, finds Silvis over to Daly, and is passed back to Martin, who has a shot on goal, and that's just saved. And so we're peppering the goal left and right, and we were definitely dominating possession. This was a very, very good job by Silvis to not give up on this, and then that pass to Daly found Martin wide open. I mean, nobody even close to him. Really, Grant Martin should do a better job than that. We should have seen a goal there. Matt Williams with a throw over to Benitez. Back to Williams. Williams up to Doe. Alpha Doe has it now. Alpha Doe moves forward over to Silvis. Silvis back to Doe. Doe moves forward to Cook. Cook over to Silvis. Silvis looks forward for Martin, and that one's lumped over to Aldana, who scores the goal. The question is whether he's onside or not. That would be a little surprising if that's onside, but we'll see. And now they're going to say that's offside. That's offside. That looked like it was offside with the naked eye. I mean, this is creative, but yeah, Aldana's way, way offside. And at least the ball went into the back of the net, so that's got to increase his confidence a little bit. I'm not going to get too worried about him since he's been scoring goals like it's going out of style. Silvis with this ball now, and he knocks that one up into the 10th row, and we're getting back into our old habits here. So still 0-0 as we approach halftime, and this is against the worst team in the division or in the league or the conference or whatever we're going to call it. And, yeah, we'll say whatever that one was, whatever. Yeah, we have a couple of players having not a great game so far, but I think we're going to stick with our guns and see what happens here in the second half. I'm a little bit reluctant to start making whole-scale changes because I've seen what the other strikers look like, and what I've seen ain't pretty. Here's Evan Bowden with it again. Evan Bowden looks forward, and he was trying to pass it to Daly, and it ends up being intercepted. This goes out for a Utah State throw. That's going to be the end of the highlight. And we're going to advance forward in this match and do a little fast forward and see what we can find waiting for us on the other side. Poor match so far, really, from everybody, all of the major scorers. And here is Daly now with the throw in, looking for Martin, and it ends up back with Silvis. Silvis with it over to Cook. Cook back to Doe, over to Son Hyun-taek. Son Hyun-taek has it now over to Silvis. Silvis over to Matt Williams, over to Benitez. Benitez over to Martin and Benitez. It goes back to Williams, over to Son Hyun-taek, and then back to Williams. Look at that excellent passing job that we have. And this is lumped forward as a cross over to Evan Bowden, whose header is unfortunately offline. And now we have a corner. Evan Bowden's going to take this corner, and he lumps this one forward and is looking for Cook and can't quite find him. And this is brought up and forward by Utah State, and we're going to intercept it. Now the highlight's just going to end. Here's Evan Bowden now with a free kick, and he sort of knocks that one forward slowly, and we're looking for something there. And we got a header from far, far off that went just wide of the goal. Not really exactly what I was expecting, and the poor matches are continuing to accumulate for our main starters, especially Grant Martin and Cesar Aldana, both of whom are having very, very poor matches and look like they're just waiting for me to find them. Alpha Doe here with the ball. And he moves it backwards a little bit, and he finds Daly. There's Daly with it, back to Cook, over to Son Hyun-taek, over to Doe. Doe with it, still on that right side, over to Cook now. Cook, and he'll knock it over to Doe, and we probably should send it back to the left side. There's corner over to Williams, and he sees what I saw. Williams over to Benitez. Benitez over to Grant Martin. And Grant Martin gets the cross and looking for Aldana, but boy, they've had him totally plastered all day. They've just wallpapered him. Daly with this over to Silvis, and it ends up as a rebound that Aldana grabs and shoots, and that is going to be a goal, and he is onside. And so that shows you, it goes to show you that you just stick with your guns and stick with your guys, and good things might happen in the end. So Daly had this here, and the idea really is, we really need to just cross this in. Silvis has it, and then Mags, and he's probably fouled there by Aldana. I'm guessing that was probably a little no call. Doesn't really matter in the end, though. We have the goal. It is 1-0 BYU, and we have only about 20 minutes left in this one. Now, the question is whether we can hold on or not. This was not supposed to be a close and exciting match. Here's Daly with it. Daly has the ball. looks forward, right side, Daly with it, crosses in himself, and Silvis has it now. Bowden lumps this one over to Martin, and that also hits the woodwork, and we've had 2 of those. We should have some sort of drinking contest where we count the number of times that the ball hits off the woodwork. If you have that with Football Manager, you got to be really careful. You have to limit yourself then to 1 match a day. If you try to do more than 1 and you're playing that game, you're going to be out of it pretty quick, my friend. And Bowden is fouled from behind by Sirignano, and that's clearly going to be a red card. This is a straight red for the bicycle tackle. That always happens in a rivalry game. Bowden with this now, lumps this forward. It's Silvis who's got it over to Martin, back to Silvis. Silvis lumps it forward for Martin, who's turned the wrong way. That was a strange bit of lack of communication on our part. Cook with this, and he takes it forward over into that same area, and Martin, unfortunately, is not quite tall enough to get the head onto it. So he take over to Daly, and boy, that almost crossed the line after the goaltender saved it. It's Bowden with it now. And he's got a free kick that he's going to take as a shot, and that really should have been in. He had to get past that wall, and instead he just put it past the goal. Is Duckworth here now for Utah State, and he's got a man. Is he going to pass it or not? And they do cross it back over to November, and Korn's not able to get over to it, and that ends up off the crossbar, which means it's another shot for one of you. Mags has it now, takes it back and throws it in. That's Nickerson with it. Nickerson over there to Akins, and it's way past Akins, and Alpha Doe as a sliding tackle. He's got to be careful. He's not sent off. And here's Alpha Doe again. No yellow card yet for Alpha Doe. That's a strange thing for him. It's almost like somebody's sick or something. Aldana with the ball now, and boy, that was a great save by Utah State. That's out for a corner, and here comes the corner. As you can see from the match momentum, we have dominated this match, but it's close because it's a 1-0 match, and anything can happen here. Here's Bowden with this corner, and it's knocked forward for Akins, or for somebody there, and Akins from Utah State takes it off, and that's the end of that. We'll take a quick look and see what this highlight is. I'm not quite sure what we're seeing a replay of here. Here we go. Daly lumped this forward for Aldana, and it actually was not off the goaltender. It was off the defender. And they've been really applying the pressure to Aldana, which has kept him quiet. That's why he has the 1 goal, but only a 6.8 match rating. It's going to be someone like Darryl Daly who ends up getting the man of the match despite not really doing anything to help for the offensive cause. Bowden knocks this one forward, and he crosses it to nobody. Here's Doe with it. Doe finally has his yellow card over to Son Heung-Taek to Williams. That means Doe eventually will probably be suspended again or something. I've lost count. And the header by Daly goes up and over, and he's probably going to get the man of the match, like I said, which is kind of a shame because he doesn't really deserve it. What has he done? He's headed the ball over the goal a couple times. That's about it. And it is Benitez who comes down with this one, but Duckworth is able to get over and to the ball. Benitez is called for the foul. No card coming, which is good because that would have had him sent off. This is probably going to be the final kick of the match, I think. D knocks this one forward, and I mean, what kind of kick was that? Over to Korn, and yeah, end of match here. The default AI and Football Manager has some problems with this. We have an XG in this one of 5.61. We only managed to score a single goal, so it was a really difficult match for us. But we have come away with the victory, and I guess this really is a rivalry, isn't it? 72% of the possession for us, so I mean, is this really a close one? But we'll count it as one. It was only 1-0. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.